Hi, Dr. Todd Sullivan from Nova Chiropractic and Acupuncture. In this video, I'm going to go over the 5 reasons your back pain is not getting better. The first reason your back pain is not getting better is because you're sitting for too long. We know that sitting puts 10 times the amount of pressure on the low back. And what that does is it's going to put a lot of stress on the disc and the muscles in your low back and cause that compression down there. And that compression is going to cause that irritation and not allow your low back to get better faster. So one of the things you can do is take breaks throughout the day. If you do have a job where you have to sit all day long at a computer, take frequent breaks, drink a lot of water so you have to go to the bathroom often throughout the day. That'll get you up out of that position there. That's one thing. The next thing you could do is you can go to a stand-up desk, and that's going to put you in a much better position, and that's going to evenly distribute some of the stress along your spine and help your back pain get better faster. And even if you're not standing the entire day, just having the ability to go from a sit to stand position is going to help give you little micro breaks throughout the day. Because sitting for 8 to 10 hours a day, maybe you have a half an hour commute, it's going to add a lot of stress to your low back and not allow it to get better faster. The second reason your back pain is not getting better is it's from poor posture. So Natasha has really good posture right here, and what that's going to do is going to help to evenly distribute the pressure in her low back between the muscles and joints. If she slouches, slouch really bad for me there, what that does is it puts a lot of pressure on the muscles right in her low back. It also puts a lot of pressure on the SI ligaments. So if you're dealing with chronic lower back pain there, it's probably because your posture is not good and it's stressing those ligaments quite a bit, and that's going to prevent your back pain from getting better. Versus have good posture, sit up nice and straight, that's going to evenly distribute the stress on her back and help her back pain get better faster. One little trick you can do from a posture standpoint is a lot of chairs have like a lumbar support. You can put that in your chair or even your car, and that's going to help to give you that space and evenly distribute it. But ultimately, you do want to work on developing that core strength so you can maintain that good posture and you can help your back pain get better faster. So that's the second reason your back pain is not getting better. You have poor posture. The third reason your back pain is not getting better is because you have a weak core. So what we try to get patients to do once we get them out of pain is we try to have to strengthen their core muscles. And that's going to be crucial because that's going to act like a brace and help take pressure off your low back. The 2 best exercises you can do for core strength are going to be prone planks and then side planks. And you want to hold those for 30 to 45 seconds and then do that 2 to 3 times during your workout. And what that'll do is it'll kind of act like a brace for your low back and help take pressure off that injured area, and it will help it heal faster. The fourth reason your back pain is not getting better is because you have tight hips. When I say tight hips, I mean the muscles in your glutes and hip rotators in your glute region. Basically what will happen is they will get tight from excessive sitting. So prolonged sitting causes the muscles to tighten up, and then that will put more pressure on your low back because the normal force that has to get applied through your hips can't go through that area because it's so tight. So what happens is then the lower back compensates. Your lower back compensates, that prevents your lower back pain from getting better. So if I assess Natasha's hips here, and we're just going to check out, just do some basic internal and external range of motion. I'm checking to see how tight she is. And a lot of times with patients, I can barely get their leg to about a 90-degree angle. And that's an indication that they have a lot of tightness in their glute and hip region there. So we need to fix that first in order to help the lower back. So the best thing we can do for that is to do a seated stretch. So let's have you sit up and face that way. So what she's going to do is she's going to scoot right to the edge, so her sit bones are on the edge. Cross your right leg over your left. And then the key to the stretch is to have your back really straight. And keeping her back really straight, she's going to hinge from her hips and lean forward into it, keeping her chest tall. And she'll feel a really good stretch in her hamstring and glute area. And this stretches the low back into the glutes and into the hamstring all at once. And that's a great stretch. And I would suggest you hold that for 30 to 45 seconds. Do each side and do that once in the morning at work and then once in the afternoon. And that will, if you do that consistently, that will help to loosen up that tightness in your hip and help heal your lower back pain. The fifth reason your back pain is not getting better is you have poor lifting technique. So a lot of times when people will go bend over to pick something up, they'll just bend over and they'll round their lower back. And what that does, it causes micro injury to that lower back and prevents it from healing, essentially. So over time, that repetitive bending over causes that irritation and prevents your lower back pain from getting better. What we would prefer to see is we try to teach the patients how to hinge correctly if they have to bend over to pick something up. So there's 2 ways you can bend over to pick something up correctly. One is going to be a hip hinge, and we're going to show that. And the other one we're going to do is just a squat. So if you have to get real low, you're going to try to get squat down. keep your back straight and avoid rounding that low back and preventing injury. So if we're gonna do a hip hinge, she's gonna keep her back real straight, chest tall. She's gonna keep her back straight and drive her butt back towards me. There you go. And then that prevents her lower back from rounding and taking pressure, putting pressure on her low back. Come back up. So she's gonna hip hinge again, drive her butt back. That keeps her lower back flat and prevents that irritation. And that's the correct way to lift something. If you have to lift something really heavy, say getting something out of your trunk, grocery stuff like that, that's gonna be the better way versus rounding and you have no support right here. Your core can't fire correctly. And then you come back up and that's what causes irritation in your low back. Or if you have to get something very low, squatting, bending your knees, keeping your back really vertical and keeping the object you're picking up close to you will help reduce the strain on your low back. If you have any questions, reach out to me at 703-912-7822 or schedule online at novachirowellness.com.